What's good up about this in Studio 54? Got some homework today. Like Coach Tony gave me. Starting off with half swings, odd number of clubs today. So 9 o'clock-ish, trying to hit the ball straight on the line. For the half swings, it would be 2 path, like 2 degrees to work with on the path, and then 1 for the face. And then I need to get 3 in a row. For full swings, then it's 2 for the path and 2 for the face. 2 degrees to work with. Same thing though, 3 in a row. Let's Fuma. Oh, and this is a very good technical face control practice. So if you Bappa Butters try it out, let your boy know.
Out of the rough is pretty easy, you just hack it down there, but this week it actually takes skill. And again, there's a huge emphasis on these pitch shots and wedge shots. You actually have a little help. And so it really does test every part of your game. We'll take word a lot, had ups and downs, and so I think then everything, I was kind of wide-eyed and didn't know what to expect. Thankfully, I was able to get the W, but I think all around through the bag, my game has gotten better and more solid. And guys who haven't played many major championships, it'll probably help because, any major we're going to have, 10, 12 deep on most every hole, and the grandstands will be filled up. So I think for those guys it helps. For me, it actually, I think the more that's out there, the better focused we are. It's like, when I get paired with Tiger or Phil, I've always loved it because with how many fans, and I didn't play late, so I didn't really experience kind of the lack of roars, with Colin made eagle or somebody makes a long birdie putt. But those things, we miss those. And they love golf, so we'll miss them this week. I think that's it. Thank you. Good luck.
One more thing. Do you have a favorite New York moment in terms of fans? I mean, it's different up here, and having an open without them, it's going to be different. But do you have a moment that you remember that sort of got to the essence of what it's like?
No, I mean, when I think of the fans in New York, I just think of the volume.
Won the US Open, but in 2018, the only other top 10 finish he has had was a tie for 5th at the Masters last year. But he says he's a better player than the one that won the national championship back in 2012. Now let's head out and enjoy the world number 2 on 2. Here practicing from a bad break, I suppose.
He's just simply getting ready for the inevitable bounce through that left side of the green when there's a flag cut on the right side. He's expecting this cut on the right side of the green is going to be a daunting proposition. He just simply expects to be in position once or twice.
All the green complexes here at Wainsford are just spectacular. And that second green there with that huge oak tree just steps from the edge of it. Really cool feature.
Farah. The golf course and perhaps some unexpected positions, or perhaps not so unexpected. He might find himself in. It's still a work day on Wednesday at the US Open.
Asks questions like these. Experience the rewards of our curiosity.
Yeah, they're a great partner. They're always there with insights and guidance. It's like having a business caddy.
You good for golf on Saturday?
Can't. Closing the books. The team's already finished.
Cameron, where he's had all his success. during the playoffs. That's still in the bag this week, but I spoke with a member of Tiger's camp who said he has made one change to it. He put a new grip on. It's kind of a cord grip, a little bit thicker, very, very similar to what he used in college, just trying to get a little bit different feel. With something at home, what are you focused on? He said the drills will change, the things he's thinking of will change, but the one thing that never changes when he comes to a tournament site is what his father, Earl, used to always tell him: putt to the picture, and that's still the plan.
And that was big part of the plan early this. Getting ready is the defending champion, Gary Woodland, 15 months removed from the Pebble Beach and his U.S. Open championship. But he has made a change since then. What's different in his camp?
Well, if you look at the way he's played, he admitted to me yesterday when I spoke to him that he has not played his best golf since. His primary swing coach had been Pete Cowan. Pete Cowan was in England during the quarantine. He obviously couldn't come to the United States, and Gary explained to me he doesn't like to work at tournament sites. He does his best work at home when there's no distractions. So he decided at Memorial to make a bit of a change. He went with last week, and he said there's a comfort level there because Justin worked a lot with Butch Harmon. As we all know, that's where Gary came from, and the way he explained it to me is the things he does, he speaks Butch's language, and you're starting to see that this week, and there is a comfort level.
Someone who works well together with his player out here.
In Memphis, he had to go home. They were worried there were some health concerns. I spoke with him yesterday. He said he's 100%. He's actually been the last couple weeks back home in Dallas. He said he was carrying around like 40-pound backpack through the heat in Dallas to make sure he was ready to show up this week. And he's very excited, and I'm sure JT's excited to have him on the back because experience is going to be key on this golf course, and JJ has plenty of it. He actually caddied for Steve Stricker in 2006 here when the Open was played. He caddied for Nick Price in 1997. Stricker finished tied for 6th. Price finished tied for 13th, so he's hoping that trend continues.
That is a pretty good track record. Great to see Jimmy back. Good to know he is feeling 100%. We look forward to watching him and Justin Thomas throughout the course of the week. Rex Ogard, appreciate it as always. Look forward to more insights from you throughout the course of the week as the preparations, they're starting to wind down. Just a little bit more quiet out. Back with more from Mamaroneck, New York, right after this.
Here's a question. How can something like floor mats help improve your business? How can this give your employees more confidence to do that? How can safety glasses make your company more productive? How can the way you look change the way customers see you? For over 1 million companies, it's simple. Cintas. So to help keep your business well-equipped, clean, and looking its best, it's Cintas. Get ready for the workday. Introducing the all-new 2021 GLA SUV, starting at just $36,250. GLA 250 SUV for just $39 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Kind of like we're doing now?
Except with friends.
So, like this?
Except with friends.
Kind of like this.
But different.
Very, very, very different.
We deliver propane and oil to our customers, but most of all, we care about them.
It's almost an undescribable feeling.
If it's really cold and I'm able to troubleshoot their system and get it working, I feel good about them.
Sleet, snow, ice, we try every...
Young man that's come on the scene in the last couple of seasons. Great young guy, good solid game. Spoke to him earlier today, said he loves this golf course. And here's that one. Don't want to be in there, Cara.
Be in there today, not tomorrow. But I was going to say, here's a young guy.
He's a talent, no doubt about it. Maybe a dark horse this week. Want to stay out those bunkers, though? If you can, we continue here live from the US Open.
Supporting its legends, its future stars. And the championship moments that continue to inspire the next. Everybody gets special pricing on most products. So what are you waiting for? Call us or visit pxg.com and take your game to a whole new level. If that's not fun, tell me what is, baby. PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period. You're finally doing it. Chasing your dreams and following your heart to a new beginning. At Amica, we believe in life's extraordinary experiences.
So much so that we built a company around it. With every phone call, every quote, every claim, we're in house. Yours. Experience Amiga. Auto, home, and life insurance.
Service now. The smarter way to workflow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, juniors and seniors, lifeline players, just beginners, club members, truck slammers, righties, lefties, slicers, hookers, big hitters, short game wizards, walkers, and riders. What time it is, you're welcome at carlsgolfland.com, land of golf plenty. Appreciate free returns.
25 miles north of Times.
In the 5 US Opens at Wingfoot, the field has never averaged less than 73 in a single round.
The West Course will once again provide one of the games.
3 months later than originally scheduled. This is not June, but September, as we welcome the second of just 3 men's majors this year. Our host is historically one of the hardest, designed to identify the best. Wingfoot will test your golf game and your sanity. In 5 previous Opens, only one has ever broken one. We have had heartbreak here before, and notably now with 6 second-place finishes, the search for his career Grand Slam continues. But now,
Golf Central proudly presents Live, presented by Cintas and Ping.
Dustin Johnson is your FedEx Cup Champion Player of the Year, and well, this week he looks to become the first.
In fact, the last top-ranked player to win any major was Rory McIlroy at the PGA Championship. That was Valhalla in 2014.
World number 2, John Rahm, he finished 4th in the FedEx Cup after a 2-win season at 2 testy courses,
Muirfield Village and Olympia Fields, and says he's ready based on the 2 events he's won this year, and he looks to become the first Spanish player to win a US Open. Meanwhile, Justin Thomas, like DJ, well, he had a 3-win season, 10 top 10 finishes as well, led the PGA Tour, but has had just 1 top 10 in 5 starts at the US Open, and he comes off a miscut in this major at Pebble Beach last year. As we say good afternoon and welcome you in, Golf Central proud to be live and on site at the US Open, the beautiful clubhouse here at Wingfoot Golf Club just behind us. I'm Cara Banks alongside the everyone right behind us working on whatever part of that game they choose right now.
Just talking about that start, picking up on what David was just saying there. If, you know, the first 2 days you're going to see players teeing off both tees. If you're teeing off at the first hole and the 6th hole, which is drivable, those might be their best birdie chances.
Okay, well, here is Rory McIlroy on the short game area just behind us. I found it fascinating listening to
him with the press yesterday, David, because, you know, he hasn't won a major for 6 years, which is very surprising given his...
Than anything we ever could do. And the pressure I put on myself, Trevor put on himself, is far greater than anything writers, television, radio.
Wrong from the first tee, and he was trying to crawl back from there. But do you think it helps that he's recognised that that's what has maybe been his issue at majors recently?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I think we all realise that it's been all of our issues. If you played on tour long enough, it's just one at the foot, you could run into some trouble.
Well, he did finish tied 9th at the US Open last year, which was the first cut he'd made in this major
in his last 4 appearances, so perhaps he will be able to get off to a fast start tomorrow. He will go out in the morning, 8:07 a.m. Eastern Time, with Adam Scott and Justin Rose.
But the other ones didn't count, and it was...
Par 5 on this layout.
Can play any golf course. You know, and I don't like... Yeah, I guess you could dwindle it down to a few courses, you know, a Colonial, a Harbor Town, where a shorter, more accurate player in this field for Tony this week, just simply getting in play that much more often, getting into the middle of the greens and being smart about how you go approach attacking this golf course.
Well, here's Matt Wolff, who's playing in this group.
One of the best downswings in golf. Has that unique position at the top where he sets it way across the line and drops it in the slot so beautifully. What a tremendous talent he is. One of the things I'll be looking for out of Wolff, and I'll throw Hovland into that as well, is when they chip, and pitched it with a very shut club face going back, and that may not be ideal coming out of this thick rough.
Well, Wolf making his debut in the US Open, as is this man, 18-year-old amateur, one of 13 amateurs in the field, Preston Summerhays. Playing actually Tony Finau for the third straight day because he is the son of that man who is Tony Finau's swing coach, and Preston Summerhays is in the field because he is the reigning US Junior Amateur Champion. Birthday boy Bryson DeChambeau is the fourth and final man on the third.
I hit it straight when I go up to 10 o'clock.
He's been putting a lot of work in on the range over the last 3 days. Didn't look too happy.
Don't be too proud
Good.
to put those big clubs away. Okay, so the US Open.
Every day, over 1 million businesses depend on Cintas. Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
I heard you guys have Workday now.
Yeah, they're a great partner. They're always there with insights and guidance. It's like having a business caddy.
You good for golf on Saturday?
.com. You'll find products that defy expectations for those who seek the extraordinary. Tables brave the Arctic. Coffee tables, chill drinks.
Owning a business means owning a lot of uncertainty, but unknowns bring opportunity.
For shipping and touch-free ways to take payments too. We have all these tools ready for when you need them.
So even though we can't predict the future, we can help you be ready for whatever's next. See everything we can do at square.com.
What do you do this after every relationship?
Do what?
Freak out and shut down. It's 5 years spinning wheels.
Let's go dating. I'm shaking it up. I'm my own boss now.
You go, Eddie!
You're in charge. Don't sit. Walk away. Walk that way. The U.S. Open at Torrey Pines.
We were just discussing a moment ago, this is actually happening. We're having the U.S. Open at Winged Foot. It's in September, but what has the process been like for you to get here?
Well, Steve, it's really very special for us to be here. When you consider, and we started seeing a little bit of daylight, and then the date was offered. And we said, take it. Whatever it is, we'll take it. And so, up until I think this week, we were still thinking that perhaps it wouldn't happen. But it has.
It certainly has. We are excited for Thursday's opening round.
Obviously, it was COVID. I mean, how did we deal with that? First as an operation, and then we take all of those protocols, CDC, New York State, how did we adopt all of those?
And then I just felt more left,
to
but the
US
face was
Open.
less.
As you probably know, that the PGA Tour, along with New York State CDC, has some very strict guidelines. So again, as we went into this year, and golf has been booming for being out of doors, being able to be with friends and just enjoy the time. So we had to take those protocols and adopt them for the U.S. Open. We've tested 2,000 people. That's about the population that it will be at some point on the property. And then it was all the mask wearing, the social distancing. So not only is it an unusual open because there's no spectators, but it's all the items. The hand sanitizing, the mask wearing, the way food service had to be handled. So there's a lot to think about and a lot to adjust to.
What does it mean to your membership in this club to host the U.S. Open for a sixth time?
From the United States Golf Association. So it was the youngest private club ever to host the U.S. Open. It became immediately part of our DNA. So it was 29, 59, 74, 84, throw in the 1997 PGA Championship. So hosting majors is just part of who we are. And there's a great sense of pride, excitement. There was a great sense of disappointment when we thought that perhaps we wouldn't be hosting it. And once it was announced that we were, you could hear the from the membership. And as you can, I'm not sure if you realize, but all of the volunteers are members. And for every volunteer spot that was required, a member filled that spot.
I was proud of tomorrow morning at 6:50 a.m. when Brandon Wu was Scarsdale. New York and the president are native from but 10 minutes away when he tees off and this officially gets going.
Well, first of all, congratulations to that fine young man, our neighbor. I mean, just so great that he plays. And so the sense of pride will be that we pulled it off. The fact that we're 4 miles away from New Rochelle. There was a chance that first of all, there was a chance we wouldn't even open this year. Then there was a chance that, well, we'd open, but it would sort of be a very modified, very sort of constricted environment. And then that loosened up. And so to be here tomorrow morning at 6:50 a.m. watching young man tee off is going to be just amazing.
That smile says it all.
Yeah.
We thank you for making it happen, and we're thrilled to be here for the U.S. Open.
Thank you.
Colin Burns, general manager of Winged Foot. The smile again, it does say it all. He is thrilled to be a part of the big picture here. The U.S. Open Championship, the 120th edition, gets going bright and early Thursday morning here from Winged Foot.
That should be in. It's not bullshit. That's bullshit. That's actually bullshit. Like,
6'3" hits threes. 98 mark the 6.
Kings see courts in 2020. Days have routines, and nights have a rhythm.
You don't need to change your swing to get more distance. You need Big Bertha to straighten out the distance you already have. The new B21 driver and irons are extremely forgiving and deliver distance any way you swing it. The new Big Bertha.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, you really, you're presented with very few opportunities around this golf course. Yes, the first par 5 is 9, but I would go to, look at the 6th hole, okay? And then it's a very short, drivable, potentially, if you'd like to have the chance. And then of the 12th hole. After that, the other 13 holes are everything you want. And so really, yes, it's important to try to pick up birdies on these holes, but at the same time, just as importantly, if you look back through the players who have won this event, don't lose shots on those holes. It's imperative not to make worse than pars on those holes.
Well, the lowest score we've ever had in the US Open.
Friend Eamon Lynch, and Eamon for the second straight day. We have a nice little conversation. Always good to have you aboard. And yesterday we talked about what's different, what's missing out here, but there's something else that's missing that you think might be a very positive sign for the week on tap.
It is. I mean, yesterday we talked about how we don't have fans, we don't have infrastructure, we don't have brooks, all of the things that we wish were here. But one thing to me that's noticeably missing this week is the complaints from the players, and this is a great.
On the eve of this US Open.
Yeah, Rory went out and played the front 9 this morning with Rasmus Højgaard, 19-year-old Danish kid, and Rory was really impressed with his game, said he's a lot more polished at 19 than he was. Rory went on raw talent at that point. He thinks Rasmus Højgaard has a great career ahead of him, but this is Rasmus Højgaard's first major championship, so perhaps not expecting that much this week. But he did have an interesting little veteran input when he was out there. He ran into Nick Faldo on the golf course, and they talked about the 2002 US Open, not far from here at Bethpage Black, when Nick Faldo, at the age of 45, finished in a tie for 5th place. And Faldo told Rory that his mindset that week was automatically, when that tee shot went in the rough, he played for 5. As soon as the ball disappeared in the long grass, that was what his goal became. Any choice, which to me kind of tells you just how difficult this golf course is playing. And when I asked him if he under par was going to win, there was no hesitation. He said, not a chance.
It will be fun to see what that winning final score is come Sunday. Also, we wonder by week's end, could this be the week for...
Talk about Winged Foot in 2006 as being Phil's best chance. We should really be talking about 2020 as perhaps his last chance to even compete in the US Open, because this is a tough tournament to make the field in. And the top 60 in the world rankings are eligible. Phil's skating very close to that cut line. He, as you know, Stevie, was quite emphatic earlier this year in saying that he would not accept a special invitation from the USGA to play here. Winning next year's US Senior Open doesn't get him into Torrey Pines, because that happens a month after the US Open. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that what we might actually be seeing here is Ahab finally giving up the chase for his whale here in golf terms, because Phil Mickelson may actually be in his last US Open.
That would be hard to imagine. U.S. Open appearances for Phil Mickelson, 6 times the runner-up. Could this be the last year? I think for all golf fans, Eamon, we'd like to see him keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think there's a lot more life in Phil as a character. Let's just hope there's a lot more life in him as a player as well.
He is the eternal optimist. He also said everything from this point and beyond is a bonus. Is Phil maybe trying a little tomfoolery on us? We'll wait and see. But late on a Wednesday afternoon, leaving no stone unturned, Phil Mickelson, the 50-year-old, on the range here at Winged Foot.
They're up 6 times, bro. Yikes.
To helping people achieve their financial goals. This isn't just any journey.
It's the first day of a new beginning. At Amica, we believe in life's extraordinary experiences. So that we built a company around it. With every phone call, every quote, every claim, we're an insurance company that delivers an experience that meets the only standards higher than ours. Yours. Experience.
Closing the books. It's already finished. Took half the time. And I'm back in. There's an opportunity in New York. Reserve bourbon is a spectacle for the senses.
That's 180. Yeah, that was just in the heart of the club.
When you think about Phil's performance in the US Open, we know he has those 6 runner-up finishes. Nathan Lynch just mentioned it a moment ago. You know, 4 of those 6 runner-up finishes have come in the state of New York.
I don't think that was fat.
Close calls here. Of course, one of them came at Winged Foot, as we know, in 2006. He's 50 years of age. Is he a legitimate contender this week?
Unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen. But I want so badly for this man to win the US Open, to join that elite list of career Grand Slam winners. I think he's deserving of it. But that club right there, the driver, is what's going to stand between him.
Hitting it way offline. You know, he's going to have to back down, I think, and try to get the ball and play a lot in the 3 woods. He has plenty of speed and distance to get around this golf course, and then count on some superb iron play. You know, I would love to say that I think he's could be a contender this week, but...
He was third in Portugal last week. Spoke to him yesterday. Seems so cool and calm and collected. The way he drives the ball, I like him around here.
I'll throw in not a dark horse, but a long shot just to appease you.
Okay.
Phil Mickelson.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, how about that? You got that. You didn't give me a winning score. Nope. Okay, well I got Xander Schauffele at 6 over. I think it's going to fall between Jeff Ogilvy and Hale Irwin. 6 over par.
Nice.
Break it down, 1.5 over each day. I think it's
also fat.
Businesses keep our world running, and Cintas keeps them by helping them make sure workers are well equipped and companies are well prepared. Supplies are delivered. Every day, over 1 million businesses depend on Cintas. Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
No, I just can't close the face. I got it inside here.
Service now. The smart workflow.
This is a keepsake frame. This is actually a photo from my wedding.
You're in charge. Decent. Walk away. Walk that way.
For every fan of golf, past, present, and future. And as golf's biggest champion, we strive to make the game as great as it can be.
It is Wednesday afternoon on the eve of the US Open, where just 144 players will participate this week. That is the lowest number of competitors since 1932, after this year's field was reduced from its traditional size of 156. But that won't make Winged Foot any less challenging, consistently ranked as one of the best in our game.
3 months later than originally scheduled. This is not June, but September, as we welcome the second of just 3 men's majors this year. For the first time since 1919, to identify the best. Winged Foot will test your golf game and your sanity. In 5 previous Opens, only one has ever broken par by week's end. The list of champions here showcase some of the greats, though the most recent edition is. But now, the state of New York is hosting a major championship for the 3rd consecutive year. We are in Westchester County for the 120th US Open
this is
Championship.
-3, but I gotta reroute this. That's pretty slow.
Golf Central proudly presents live from the US Open. Presented by Cintas and Payne.
Let's go up about this. So I gotta put this sheet up because it's like falling. It's not broken. It's just falling. And then I gotta go chase a calf back in, the long last calf. It was like roaming the woods for a while and we found it, so gotta go get his ass in. Not sure how much we're gonna get out of this session now, but you know, let's get this up.
In those days, he didn't give Hale any yardages or beat any putts or anything, but he handled himself pretty well. He made a couple of mistakes. He gawked at Arnold Palmer a little too long and ignored Hale, and then he dropped the bag once when he was trying to put a divot together, and Hale, you know, rebuked him. But in general, he held it together very well. I remember very vividly the 17th and 18th holes on Sunday. He had a two-stroke lead. Hale did. At 17, he put it in the rough, hit a 4-wood way short of the green, had 100 yards, got it to 10 feet, made a great putt that was really emotional. And then on 18, a nice drive and a pure 2-iron that Peter will remember the rest of his life. The last fairway, and Peter has to do that in the locker room later. He paid him. He said it was a generous amount, threw in a dozen balls. And Peter has an incredible memory for the rest of his life.
I mean, it's a remarkable story that a 16, a volunteer working on the range, 46 years removed from that memorable week in 1974. Now that begs the question, why is Peter back here this week? Brought him back to Winged Foot so many years later.
Well, Peter is now a 62-year-old home builder in Cincinnati, and he had planned to have his family and some buddies meet here at Winged Foot before the COVID epidemic. When that happened, suddenly all the plans were off, but his son, Ben, started making some calls. He's very industrious, and he persisted, and he called the right people to USGA, and they sort of finagled a couple of volunteer things at the range, which has been great. Peter talks about, I was so near my heroes back in 74, Arnold, Jack, and Lee Trevino, and Johnny Miller, and now I'm near my heroes again. You know, Tiger Woods right next to me, Phil Mickelson. Peter still has them no matter what, and this week I'll add to it.
What a great story. You dig deep as always. We appreciate you sharing that with us. And what a story for Peter McGarry, 62 years of age. Go back to 1974. He was on the bag for Hale Irwin this week, making sure, hey guys, you got enough golf balls out there? Let's get them out on the golf course. Give Peter a chance to walk around Winged Foot this week as Live from the U.S. Open continues.
Service now. The smart workflow.
Faster cores, hotter faces, stronger materials. It's record-breaking, score-dropping, heart-pounding, distance.
I heard you guys have Workday now.
Yeah, they're a great partner. They're always there with insights. It's like having a business caddy.
You good for golf on Saturday?
Yeah, closing the books.
Team's already finished, took half the time.
And I'm back in.
There's an opportunity in New York.
Workday, a finance, HR, and planning partner like no other.
Top critics rave. Antebellum is mind-blowing. It's sinister and disturbing.
Recall tonight.
With a daring twist you won't see coming. Antebellum, rated R. Friday on Amazon Prime Video and everywhere on demand.
These are the people who make Gentleman Jack. Culture. Refined. Just kidding. They're the same folks who make Old Number 7. They simply take the time to mellow it twice. Gentleman Jack, from the makers of Jack Daniels.
I need more cereal. Wow, am I dreaming?
I don't know. You want me to pinch you?
No.
Oh, wow.
It's not a dream. It's Honey Made S'mores.
Celebrate the 120th U.S. Open, where golf's greatest compete at one of the most iconic venues.
Today.
Well, the last time the Open was played in the month of September was all the way back in 1913. That's when Francis Ouimet won in a playoff at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts. Well, full golf might suit some Europeans, perhaps. A trio of them will be going out together tomorrow morning. Let's check in with another tea time that you might keep your eye on. This is the 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time grouping. Tyrrell Hatton will go with a couple of major champions. Eric Stenson famously won the Claret Jug for Phil Mickelson. Danny Willett, of course, Masters. And speaking of Tyrrell Hatton, let's take a look now at how some of the best players in the world grip the club and how their grip preferences help them to be so successful on the golf course.
We take a look at Tyrrell Hatton's grip
MCC +4 grip, 1 wrap of two-way tape, and the logo is down for Tyrrell Hatton. Now we take a look at his top hand. It is a nice neutral position, not too strong, not too weak, very, very neutral. And how does the right hand fit into that? The lifeline of the right hand butts beautifully against his top thumb, his left.
Championship appearance. That was his only top 10 now in his last 5 starts. He did win, of course, earlier in the season at Bay Hill. Wind picking up slightly on a Wednesday afternoon here at Winged Foot, but otherwise it's a beautiful day. Conditions for practice. We'll check in with another former champion. Webb Simpson's next.
Live from the U.S. Open is...
That day, we know smarter decisions lead to lower scores. We're choosing a distance iron. We recommend the performance of the G710.
And now I just take this.
Its highly flexible face elevates ball speeds for more distance and towering ball flights. It's our longest, most forgiving iron. And it's equipped with Arthos Caddy Smart Grips and includes a free trial of their app to unlock the power of your data. Get fit today for the new Ping G710 iron.
I remember I couldn't do much earlier.
How can this give your employees more confidence to do that? How can safety glasses be more productive? How can the way you look change the way customers see you? Over 1 million companies. The answer is simple. Cintas. So to help keep your business well-equipped, clean, and looking its best, get Cintas. And get ready for the workday.
We got no free pass. Everything we have, we've earned. The unmistakable Lexus IS.
Get 0% financing on the 2020 IS 300.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
With uncertainty, you need dependability. It has the HR support to help you weather the storm. That means focusing on people.
Experience that meets the only standards higher than ours. Yours. Experience Amiga. Auto, home, and life insurance.
Comfortable and good-looking.
Right.
Changing your brand.
That would have been
here in 06 for VJ and had the same thoughts. And so this is to me a classic US Open setup where it's brutally hard all day, but there's no tricks to it. You got to drive in the fairway, and I'm sure the guys are saying the same stuff, that if you're not in the fairway, it's hard to score. So I like for it to get as hard as it can get than losing the golf course. I think we've seen a couple opens where it might have gotten away from them, and when a golf course gets away from you, you're bringing in.
What's good up, buddies? Just finished up in studio 54. These sessions are pretty chill. I already know what I need to do. A little bit of face control here and there. Every now and again, a little bit of speed work, but it's pretty chill. Had a good sesh, a little over 2 hours. Got a workout tomorrow, so get ready for that. Probably get something to eat now again. If you buyers like the vids, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. But until next time, peace.